This newscast has been brought to you by Jim Adler and Associates.
And welcome back to The Factor Uncensored. Democrats vow to continue to fight a Texas bill that would add restrictions on voting as Republican Governor Greg Abbott threatened to cut off funding for the legislature if they do so. Now, Texas Democrats use every parliamentary tool at their disposal Sunday night to stop the bill, ultimately walking out to prevent a vote before the midnight deadline. Abbott said the bill would be added to a special session agenda to pass it. Joining us here on The Factor Uncensored is State Representative Ron Reynolds and State Senator Paul Bettencourt. Was that the right course of action to take, Representative Reynolds, when you guys walked out Sunday?
Absolutely, Isaiah. We debated and we looked at all the tools that we had available in terms of parliamentary procedures, points of order. Our ultimate goal was to make sure that SB7 was killed. We knew we didn't have the votes because it was a partisan bill and the majority Republicans supported it. So we did what was available to us, and we staged a quorum break so that this voter suppression bill would not become law in Texas. We believe that voting is one of the most fundamental and precious rights that we have as Americans, and this legislation would have had a drastic, disparate impact among African Americans, Hispanics, and the disabled community. And so we did what was necessary to stop this bill. We'll live to fight another day and see what happens in a special session. But for now, there is no voter suppression in Texas.
Senator Bettencourt, having them walk out, is this fight over? Does that end the fight?
Absolutely not. And they shouldn't have done it, because Texans don't like people walking off the job. And here's the bottom line. There is no voter suppression in this bill. Ron, you're going to have to tell me what segment of the bill actually does it, because that's not what this bill does. There is no Jim Crow era law in here. There is no racism in here. And let's get back to debating the facts. We did that, Isaiah, for 8 hours in the Senate. We debated from 10 a.m. to 6 a.m. in the morning. We debated the facts of the bill. The bill did pass on a partisan vote, as Representative Reynolds suggests, but there's no reason to walk out, because we're just going to do this all over again.
What makes this bill toxic, State Representative Reynolds?
Well, Isaiah, for one, I, like you, know that there are many Black churches in Houston and all across this state. And one of the premier things that we use to get our African-American community to vote is souls to the polls, where we go from the pulpit to the polls. That is tradition. They know that most African-Americans utilize that tool. Well, in this legislation, on the eve of the bill coming out, they didn't have this debated, that we didn't vet this. They included a provision that the Sunday before election day, which is souls to the polls, you could not have polls open before 1 p.m. So they did that intentionally to limit souls to the polls. Now tell me what kind of sense that makes. Why is that voter integrity? Why is that?
I'll tell you what sense it makes.
It makes no sense. It was purely precision, with surgical precision designed to limit souls to the polls that African Americans have utilized for decades.
All right, let's hear from Senator Bettencourt.
The existing law is 1 to 6 o'clock on Sunday. We expanded it from 1 to 9 o'clock. The existing law on Sunday, in between early voting weeks, is 1 to 6 p.m. We didn't change anything. So why are you accusing us of blocking souls to the polls? It's not true. It's always been there at 1 to 6. And we actually added 3 hours. We expanded early voting all across the state. It's only in Harris County that went too far out of the election code that they're having problems. We tried to stop mailing absentee ballots in Harris County to 2 million people that can't qualify for it. This is the misinformation that's coming out of the Democrat caucus. And Ron, you guys walked out over a law that doesn't change the 1 o'clock start time that has been that way since I was the voter registrar. It's been that way for 20 years. Ron, you can shake your head, but it's not true.
That's not true, Isaiah. That is certainly not true.
I know it's not true.
Information.
I know the facts.
On top of that,
we're not debating the facts, Ron.
On top of that, Isaiah, they have provisions in there that discourage people from assisting people with mail ballots. They have provisions in there that would put a chilling effect on people taking people to the poll. You had to sign an affidavit if you're taking 3 people to the poll, all kind of nonsense. So Isaiah, really, this is a bill that was packed with voting difficulties, putting criminal penalties on simple minor violations or minor infractions or minor, mishaps. They did everything they can to make it more difficult instead of making it more accessible, like online voter registration, same-day registration. They're trying to do things to make it difficult, taking away curbside voting, taking away mobile voting. All the things that help record turnout in Harris County, since we're talking about Harris County, they're trying to stop local control. The things that Mayor Turner and Judge Hidalgo instituted under Chris Hollins, who was the county clerk at the time, they took those things away. So they took away.
Last 15 seconds, Senator Bettencourt, wrap us up. You have 15 seconds.
Chris Hollins lost at the Supreme Court on mailing out absentee ballots. He lost at the Fifth Circuit of Appeals. He would have lost the federal judge case about curbside, about what he calls, a 24-hour voting, because that was in the federal law decision and the judge himself. The fact of the matter is, again, we're having an argument not based on fact. The fact is, like souls to the polls, it's always been 1 o'clock on Sunday for 20 years. I'm hearing that somehow that's bad. They should not have walked out. They should stay and do what happened in the Senate. If we have to have an 8-hour fight.
Out of time, gentlemen. Thank you for joining us here on The Factor Uncensored. We appreciate your time. It looks like we will be in a special session.